Look, I think it's really interesting when we talk about neurodiversity and the appetite children have to learn more, to seek more, to be more creative. One of the things I noticed with my son was he needed that avenue. Sport is a great way to explore, but working with music, with sound, with instruments has been amazing. And in that first session we had with you, seeing the smile on his face when he had found the right instrument, which in this case was percussion, drums and the beat, showed me something I've never seen before. And that smile, which I took a photo of, was priceless. And then watching him interact with you and learn and play and explore has really been amazing for me as a parent, knowing that I can give him an avenue to do these sorts of things. But I think for him as well, to have that ability to be creative and express how he's feeling and just explore has been wonderful. I think after we have a session, my son really is on a bit of a high. You know, he's done things he normally doesn't do. He's played music and sounds that he normally doesn't play. And what I have noticed is he's become a lot more musical at home in terms of listening to different types of songs, exploring different types of genres, moving his body to the beat more. And that's been something that's been quite new, but something we all love because my wife and I are really into music as well, and something we're certainly encouraging at home. So that's been a really positive outcome. I think music therapy is such a great tool to help kids regulate their emotional state, and as a tool that they can then use to replicate what they learnt in the class, in the real world environment. And I think it's something that my son's going to use ongoing, and the more classes that we attend and the more involved he gets and the more instruments he plays, you know, the bigger a toolkit he has to then use in life as he goes through it. So one of the great things that I've discovered from attending some of the classes with my son is our shared love of music. We both play with GarageBand on the iPad and making music. And whilst we haven't done anything together, I think we're now coming to a point where we can, and, you know, call it jamming session, whatever it may be, playing a few instruments. So it's definitely a father-son type of activity that I think we've discovered that we can then explore and have fun doing together. So in terms of parents who have neurodivergent children, I think music therapy is really a great avenue to explore. You know, sport is something we always tend to go straight to, right? It's proven, it's tested, we all know it. But music therapy or music in general is something that we typically consider only offering our kids if they're that way inclined. I think it's really important, if you don't know if your kids are musically inclined, that you just give it a go anyway. And you'll discover that more often than not they are. They'll find the beat, they'll have that smile, and they'll discover something new that they didn't know existed within them before. They'll see music in a totally different light, and who knows where else it could lead. So I think it's definitely something I recommend.